This video is a quick documentation for setting up Vitest to work with an old CommonJS codebase that uses Webpack, Babel and React 17. You might want to jump in and install all the necessary packages: Vitest, JS DOM, Vitest UI, Vit.js plugin React, the testing library React, but a version 12, because this library is relying on React 17. And lastly, JS DOM from the testing library. Now let's add some script. One for Vitest and another one for Vitest UI. Once that's done, we need a Vitest configuration file at the root. With the following configuration. First, we need the define config from Vitest config. Then we also need to import the React. And we need to export the default define config. Let's define the test environment. Let's set the React plugin. And now let's create our first test suite. And let's call it initial test. Now we will need to import some testing functions from Vit and the render and screen function from the React testing library. This should be enough to make a simple test if everything works. Initial test. It should work. Debug. Now let's test if everything runs as expected. npm test. Yay, we got exactly one test and it is passing, but well, it's doing nothing, and we got a warning, meaning that Vit no longer supports CommonJS. Yes, this is simply because the package.json file has no type entry. The type field should be missing, yes, defaulting the whole package to a CommonJS package. So to fix this is a very quick fix. We need to rename the config file to mjs to enforce Vit, to consider this file at least as an ES module. Let's run our test again. No warning, everything is cool. I'm just realizing that the font style might be too small to read, so let me bump it. Whatever. Should be much better now. Okay, let's continue. Now it's time to write our first initial test. But before we go ahead and try to test very big old module, let's create a very simple test. Let's call it my component. JS and RFC. This is good enough. So, and since React 17, we no longer have to include to import React. So this is everything we need. Good. Now let's import this component and test it. Import my component from, yeah, everything is good. And let's run that. My component, oh, forgot. And sure enough, the test is failing. Why? Because we do have JSX syntax in our JS file, but it's not an option to change every file in the current library to JSX or DSX file. It's a lot of work. So how can we make it work still? Well, since the project is already set up with Webpack and Babel config, so let's configure our Vitest to also use our Babel configuration. Babel config file, yes. This is the first step. Oh, still it fails. What's the problem this time? Which cannot be imported in a CommonJS module using require. Meaning that this is reading the wrong configuration. Let's see how it is set up. We have different environments. So let's tell Vitest to use the exact environment. Babel environment equals ES, which is the name of the environment we've set up in here. So let's see if the test pass. React is not defined. Well, this is because we have intentionally removed the React import statement because we know that since React 17 is no longer a requirement to import it. So let's tell Babel to automatically inject React at runtime using the plugin configuration. Plugins, Babel plugin transform React JSX with additional parameter runtime automatic. Basically, we are telling Babel to automatically inject React anywhere we use JSX syntax. And let's test it one more time. Congrats, everything works. So this is how you can make Vitest work with Babel and any old legacy code base. Now you can go ahead and try test and try writing tests for your real components.